What about the study group?
We're going to actually look at some of that, and then we'll look at that in a few minutes too, the study guide. So now, how is it that we work to keep some of this going? Appetite. I have a very healthy appetite. You may hear some people say that. I do too. You may hear some people say, my appetite's not that good. Or, I don't really have an appetite. Or I don't have an appetite for that. You know? We actually have hormones working on our appetite. Our control of appetite and body weight is it's these peptide hormones. What that's telling me is the type of bond that's present. Okay? So think about amino acids because they make up the proteins that make a hormone. Okay? So they're letting me know it's a string of amino acids. Peptide hormones, and then some pathways. They're called regulatory pathways. Basically, the communication from the gut to the brain. All right?
Like positive and negative feedback loops?
Sort of, yes. Some of them work a lot on that. Some of them can actually get out of sync. And they're finding more about these different gut-brain communication and how it contributes to maybe overeating, undereating, and so forth. Their job, because they're hormones, regulation, okay, control my short-term and long-term appetite. They are termed gut-brain peptides because that's what they call these hormones. They're a peptide hormone. Hormones are chemical signals. This time, the hormones are between my gastrointestinal tract and my brain. That's it. Think about everything in the gastrointestinal tract. The ones that are going to be short term, they work in roughly a couple of minutes to just a few hours. These hopefully help you feel hungry, begin eating, and then have some that will hopefully make you feel satisfied and end the meal. This is the reason that they talk about do not eat until you're full. Eat a small, like the average serving, wait that 15 to 20 minutes because you've got to have time for the communication to occur, and that communication will actually tell the brain your stomach is full. So this connection, all right, these hormones, under normal circumstances, are controlling a normal appetite. The short-term ones, one is ghrelin. Now, this one associate with the stomach being empty. Okay? When the stomach is empty, all right. Ooh, whoa, what was that? And then you hear, okay, and you go, oh, I'm hungry. Under normal conditions, that's usually how it goes, right? However, sometimes this could be out of sync. This is why some people can have that feeling of always being hungry. The goal is to produce the sensation of hunger, stimulate my hypothalamus, which is a primitive region of my brain, to secrete growth hormone releasing hormones. Hold up. We haven't talked about that or any of that. What's your understanding of, or what do you think of when you hear the term growth hormone?
Steroids.
Steroids. Like the ones that people might use to become really bulky?
Well, yeah, it's like a lot of athletes, like you get popped for HGH, like they're gonna not let you play. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like they use it for recovery. You know, like in baseball or football or basketball, like you use HGH, you're bulking and you're using it to try to recover from an injury too.
Can you think of any other ways we may have heard of HGH? Daniel? Okay, it could be the hormones they use in our meat sources at birth, okay? Are you thinking about like for babies becoming children, to teenagers and stuff like that? Okay, growth, because it's got growth in it, growth hormone. Anything else?
Like hair care products?
And okay, definitely. In humans, when is this used throughout our lifespan?
Every day.
Every day. That is the idea most of us have. Most of us associate growth hormone from the time of birth until we reach full growth. No. The purpose of growth hormone, and yes, it is in higher amounts from the time of birth until you stop growing, but the purpose of growth hormone is to properly use nutrients. So therefore, we need it every day because we eat every day, hopefully, and the cells are using those nutrients. So growth hormone needs to be available so that we can use those nutrients correctly. We produce it throughout our entire life. However, it does slow down. Okay, the older we get, blah, 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 all that stuff slows down. Now, the goal is once we get the release, and because we've got the sensation of hunger, we're hopefully going to take in some foodstuffs, and then ghrelin stops. So, all right, let me see. I had breakfast at 5:30 this morning. I'm going, I got the little going, okay, as we continue through class, because I'm not satisfied that initial grumbling, okay. Probably by the time class is over, that grumble is going to be louder because more got produced. And it's going to be like, okay, sort of like, have y'all ever seen Little Shop of Horrors with the what's that plant meat eating plant?
Venus flytrap.
The Venus flytrap, okay. Have you seen that? Ever seen that? Okay, that's like showing you how really old I am. But it's so cool because you get this Venus flytrap, and you know they're like meat-eating plants, and this dude, you know, buys it and takes it, and he starts feeding it, and it wants more meat, more meat. So anyway, so my stomach's going, eat me, all right, and that's what I'll end up having to do eventually, or I'm, you know, going to end up with all that fuzzy head stuff and everything. Anyway, so this hopefully is going to get us to do the little bit of eating. Daniel, do you have a question?
Eventually, if you don't satisfy that, doesn't it just like stop?
It can, but what's now happening, the body has converted to using some of those other ways to make the energy that we don't want it to. Yeah, and then you'll end up satisfying it in some way.
That's why they say when you want to lose weight, it's good idea to like have at least 5 like small meals a day, because when you don't eat, your body holds on to like the fat that you're trying to lose.
Yes. When in the process of trying to lose weight, it is a good idea to make sure that there is some type of schedule that's present. But yeah, you know, because you are letting the body know you're not starving it. When the body thinks, and it's based on these hormones, if the body thinks it's being starved, it tells the brain, hold on to what you got. And therefore, you don't lose any weight. And it's because of the way that these hormones talk to the brain, because that's what they're doing. They are alerting the brain, for the most part, to the fat content of the body, letting it know how much nutrients it has. So a couple more of these hormones. One is called peptide YY, or the PYY. One is called cholecystokinin, CCK. Ghrelin was from the stomach, okay? Peptide YY comes from the ileum and the colon. What this one does, oh, food's here, good deal. Therefore, it secretes the PYY. The chyme. Is everybody familiar with chyme? The acid churning of the stomach after you've eaten, okay? And what this will do is give enough chyme in relationship to the calories it has consumed. So if you consumed a big meal, secrete a lot. If you consumed a small meal, not as much. The goal, let your body know you're satisfied, and hopefully end the meal. But yes, this can go wrong. Some people can actually feel like they're not full. You'll find that in people who have the severe obesity problems, they are actually linking the issue to some of these hormones. They're actually finding that they're either deficient, not working, maybe receptors are not working, something to that effect. The CCK, this one, parts of the duodenum and jejunum, which are parts of the small intestines, get the bile and enzymes from the pancreas so that we can begin breaking the foodstuffs down. And then this also stimulates the brain and fibers of the vagus nerve, and the hope, once again, suppress the appetite so that the body can go into this absorptive state. Work on absorbing the materials we have given it. So these short-term regulators are important. They're important in giving us the signal, accepting the fact that we've
eaten